So I got this beautiful tri-tip here that I'm gonna be smoking today. Now a tri-tip is one of the best tasting steaks you can get. If you cook it properly, it's absolutely tender, super delicious. It's got a real nice beefy flavor. So there's a lot of different ways to cook a tri-tip, and I actually have a video that I did cooking a tri-tip like a brisket. Now, you might get a little blowback for that just because this is such a delicious cut of beef to cook regular like a steak. That being said, I really like how the tri-tip came out when I cooked it like a brisket. It was super delicious, nice and tender like a brisket. It may have not been as juicy as a brisket because it doesn't have much fat in there. And if you're looking for some brisket and you don't want to cook a whole brisket, try doing a tri-tip like a brisket. It's a lot quicker and you get similar results, but I'm not doing that today. I'm going to show you my method that I do with a tri-tip to get a delicious steak. And today I'm going to be taking this tri-tip and I'm going to be cooking it on my pit barrel cooker because I think that's a wonderful cooker for steak. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a reverse sear on it, and you're going to want to stick till the end because I got a little hack on the pit barrel that allows you to do a nice reverse sear on this steak. So the first step with this tri-tip is I want to get it marinated. So before we open this up, see if it needs any trimming, let's get to making this marinade. All right, for this marinade, I want to start off with some soy sauce, maybe about a cup. All right, to that, I'm going to add a good amount of avocado oil, half, 3/4 of a cup, a little bit of salt, a little black pepper, a touch of chili powder, not a lot, then a few cloves of crushed garlic. That's it. Super simple, delicious marinade for this tri-tip. Let's go ahead and give that a shake. There we go. Beautiful tri-tip marinade. Super simple to make. Let's get that tri-tip. You gotta love tri-tip, guys. If you've never tried it, I highly suggest it. One of my favorite steaks to do. But let's take a look at this. Sometimes these will have a really big fat cap on top. Looks like we just got a little bit of fat down here. Just trim this a little bit. See, it's already been gashed pretty good. Not gonna be a problem. This one needs just a touch of trimming. Most of the times when I get a tri-tip, doesn't need much trimming at all. Looks pretty good. A little bit of here on the end I want to trim off. But you can see this tri-tip has some decent marbling in it. And if you look carefully here, you can see the muscle fibers are going in this direction on this side. And then towards the end here, you see that they kind of come off to the side here. So you have two different directions of grains on this. So what I like to do is when I cut it, I'll cut this in half and I'll cut this against the grain this way, and then I'll cut this against the grain this way. Just keep that in mind when you cook a tri-tip. But this looks pretty good. Throw this thing in the Ziploc bag, just like that. Then just take that marinade, go ahead, dump the whole thing right in the bag. Beautiful. All right, now what I like to do is close this up with a little bit of air in the bag. That way I can get this all nice mixed up. Get the tri-tip coated, just like that. Then I'll pop a corner open and just squeeze out a lot of this air. You want to let this marinate for at least 2 hours. Overnight is good too, but 6 hours is optimal. All right, so I'm gonna throw this in my fridge and I'll see you guys in a few hours when this is ready to cook. All right, here is our tri-tip. I let this thing marinate for about 7 or 8 hours and I'm ready to cook it. So let's get it out of this bag. Ooh, smells fantastic, I'll tell you that much. Just try and shake off some of the excess here. Get this down on the cutting board. This is gonna be good. So I got the pit barrel all lit up, getting it nice and hot. I'm ready to get this thing out there. It already smells great. You don't wanna take too much of that marinade off. Leave some of it on there. It's gonna add fantastic flavor to this tri-tip. So I'm gonna take this up to about 135 degrees. I'm gonna pull it off. I'm gonna set up my pit barrel so I can sear this off. And I'm just gonna take it, throw it on there, give it a nice sear on both sides, and this will be ready to eat. So I wanna make sure that I monitor the temperature on this pretty closely. So I got this wireless temperature probe from the Meat Stick. It's a really nice temperature probe. I prefer it over the meter. I have a video on that if you want to see why. And if you're interested in one of these, I'll leave a link in the description down below, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this right in the tri-tip. We'll just get it right in there. So that's that. I think the pit barrel's all warmed up. I threw a little hickory wood in there, so this should be very tasty. Well, let's get this outside and we'll throw it on the pit barrel. All right, pit barrel is well up to temp. Let's get this tri-tip on. Right on the pit barrel like that. All right, let this thing cook. All right, guys, we just hit 135 degrees on that steak out there. It's been on for about 45 minutes now. So let's get out there, pull the tri-tip off, and then we'll prep this pit barrel, sear this thing off. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is pull this grate right out of here. Now, if you come to the side of the barrel here, you can see I've drilled a hole and I put a stainless screw through the side, about halfway down the barrel. And I attached it with a wing nut right here. And I've done that in 3 spots on the barrel. So what that allows me to do is take this basket right out, Now I get another grill grate, place that down on the wing nuts like that. Get our fire basket back, put that right down on that grate. Then we get our other grate back, put it on top. Now we got a nice direct heat searing option for this pit barrel cooker. So let's get this tri-tip on. All right, let's sear this thing. Now you just want to watch out for these flare-ups. If you have to, just spin the grate a little bit, get it away from that fire. This shouldn't take too long. It's a pretty hot fire we got here. All right, just give it a turn now. Spin this grate. This thing is hot. You're gonna get a beautiful crust on this thing. Did about 30, 45 seconds, then gave it a turn. All right, so then another 30, 45, give this a flip. Oh yeah, beautiful crust on there. Check that out. That is what we want. All right, get this away from the heat, give it a spin. Let that thing sear. Man, this is gonna be good. It's a good looking tri-tip. All right, this thing should be done. Oh yeah, pull that off. Check that out. This thing is beautiful. Got a nice crust on either side. I'm gonna get this on the cutting board, let it rest. All right guys, I let this rest for a solid 15 minutes. That's all I could take, and it smells amazing. And I'm ready to slice into it, so let's get right to it. All right, just check this thing out. Absolutely amazing, super juicy, still very hot. Probably could have rested a little longer, but I'm so ready to give this a try. Now, you can probably see, hopefully, like I mentioned before, the grains are running this way here, and then they're running this way here. So we're gonna wanna cut this part like this, and we're gonna wanna cut this part like that. So what I'm gonna do here, right about the point there, I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. Beautiful, check that out. It's gonna be tough to see on the camera. It always looks a little more cooked than it actually is. This is a solid medium cooked steak. Absolutely juicy too. So let's get some slices off of here. I want to cut this pretty thin. Nice, check that out right there. A beautiful piece of steak. Like I mentioned before, you probably can't see it on camera, but there's plenty of pink in here and it's super tender. It tastes amazing. Oh my God, yeah. Let me just slice off some of these. This is perfect for some steak sandwiches, tacos, whatever you want. Oh yeah, check it out. It's amazing steak, guys. Ridiculously tender. This would be so good for a taco. That is good, yeah. I could eat this stuff all day. Get on the tri-tip, guys. And with this marinade, it's amazing. All right, this is some absolutely amazing steak right here. Just phenomenal flavors. Super tender. You gotta try with that marinade though. That's what makes this tri-tip so good. Those flavors are perfect together and it's not overpowering at all. So good. Got a nice little smokiness from the pit barrel cooker. The char that we were able to achieve using that pit barrel cooker is great. If you have a pit barrel cooker, make sure to do that little hack. It's awesome for searing off steaks. You can even cook burgers or whatever you want on there. Just allows your pit barrel cooker to be that much more versatile. Now this tri-tip is some of the best meat you can get and the price really isn't that crazy yet. Now if this is your first time watching one of my videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel right over here. And if you're looking for some more awesome barbecue videos, I got another one for you right over here to check out. With that being said, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like. But get out there and smoke something good.